Alrighty friends, so I am in Microsoft Edge and I'm going to show you how to create and manage bookmarks. I'm going to show you 4 different examples of doing so because there are 4 things that I think all students should have bookmarked. So I'm going to show you how to bookmark your Canvas course list. So this right here where you go to access all of your courses. I'm going to show you how to bookmark this. I'm going to show you how to bookmark your Desmos Scientific Calculator. I'm going to show you how to bookmark your email, and I'm also going to show you how to bookmark ClassKick. So those are the 4 things that most teachers are using, and so all students should have bookmarked to be easy to access. The first thing you're going to notice, or maybe you don't if you've never used bookmarks, but I don't have my bookmark bar showing up here. You can't see those little links that typically show up. To get your bookmark bar, you're going to come up here to your address bar, and you're going to look in this blank space off to the right, and you're going to click Customize Toolbar. I right-clicked on these 3 little dots and I clicked Customize Toolbar. I am here and I want to go to my favorites and I want to show my favorites. So this right here says Favorites Bar and I want to change this to Always because I want to see this Favorites bar with all of my links. You can also view your favorites right here where this little star is with the little line, and you get a drop-down menu, kind of more like a file navigation that opens on your right. So that if you have a lot of bookmarks, and you can see that I do, they're kind of organized easier for you to view them in the list. So that's the 2 different ways you can see it. If you want to have that bookmark bar, right-click on the 3 dots and make sure this says Always after you open your Manage Toolbar, Customize Toolbar. You'll change Favorites Bar to Always, and then you can also find it by toggling this on and off. So I'm just clicking on it over and over. It either opens it or closes it. You can also pin it, but that takes up a lot of space. You can unpin it and then it just kind of like opens it and hovers it over here. And then you can exit out of it as well. So there's your bookmark bar. There's how you find it. There's how you turn it on if you want it to be available right here at the top all the time. Now let me show you how to bookmark some things. So I'm looking at my Canvas account and I want to bookmark this. To do that, it's really easy. I'm going to come up here where this little star is. I'm going to click on the star and I'm going to say, hey, what I want to call it. I want to call this my Canvas dashboard because that's what it is. So I'm going to call it my Canvas dashboard. And then where it says folder, you can choose to put these anywhere, but if you want it to show on your favorites bar, you have to put it in your favorites bar folder, or a folder if you've created a folder, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. You'll put it in the folder that you created inside of your favorite bar. But if you're just trying to put it up here so that it shows as a link on your favorite bar, just choose favorite bar and click done. You'll notice I can't see it, and that's because I have a whole lot of bookmarks, and so it's way down under the list. If I click over here on this little arrow, it'll show me all of those. You can see it's at the very bottom. And one way that I can get it up here is just to click it and drag it wherever I want. So let's say I wanted to put it right here at the beginning. I can drag it over there, and there it is. Let me show you another example, but this time let's use Desmos. We want the Desmos Scientific Calculator, and so I want this. So now I want to bookmark this. Another way I can do it is I can click on that star with the 3 little lines to open up my favorite folder, my favorites folder, and then I'm going to come up here where the little star with the plus sign is, and I'm going to click on that. You'll notice that it puts it at the very bottom of your list, but you can still, I'm going to just leave it Desmos Scientific Calculator. That's a perfect name for me. I hit enter on my keyboard. You can still organize it from over here as well. So I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to drag it to the top. You'll notice I can't scroll as I'm dragging. So I'm just going to kind of have to move it up, and just keep chasing it until I get it to the top. So doing it this way is a little bit more work if you have a whole lot of bookmarks. But even if you create it in here, you can still come over here and find it. It would have been at the bottom of the list, but now it's at the beginning because I moved it. So anything that you move over here inside of this is also going to move it and reorganize it on your bookmark bar. Let's look at ClassKick. And let's say this time I'm at Class Kick and I'm realizing I need to make some folders because my things are getting messy. I've got a lot of school bookmarks, maybe I've got a lot of personal bookmarks, they're getting messy and I want to get them organized. So this time I'm going to show you how to create a folder, and then I'm going to show you how to move some things around, because let's say I wanted to put my Desmos calculator in that folder with Class Kick. So let's do that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on that star again. I'm going to bring up my favorite bar. I'm going to scroll to the bottom because that's where it's going to create it anyway. And I'm going to click my little folder icon. So I'm going to add a folder. You'll see it comes up here. It says new folder. If you accidentally click off of it and it's still labeled new folder, all you have to do is right click on it. That's 2 fingers. If you tap 2 fingers on a trackpad, on your laptop trackpad, if you tap 2 fingers, that's like a right click. But that's what this is. So I'm going to click rename and it's going to let me rename it again. So don't worry if you accidentally click off of it, just right click on it and you can rename it. I'm going to call this Arva. I'm just going to call it Arva. So I'm going to call it Arva, and again I want to move this to the very top of my list. Well, this time I'm going to go ahead and do that off of this little arrow because I find that easier. So all I'm going to do is click on it. I'm going to find Arva and I'm going to drag it on my bookmark bar. And let's say I want this to show up right after my Canvas dashboard. And I want to leave my Canvas dashboard just there because I don't want to have to click on the folder to click on it. It's your preference. You can do whatever you want. This is your organization, but I'm going to leave that here. But I want to put this Desmos in there, and then I want to put this Class Kick in that Arva folder. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my Desmos icon. I'm going to click on it over here, and I'm just going to drag it into that Arva folder, and now you can see it's there. And if I click here, it pops up and lets me have it. Now I want to add my Class Kick there, so I'm going to click my little star just like I did before. There's my Class Kick, and I'm just going to leave it named Class Kick, and I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to chase it until I get it in my Arva folder. Once it's in the folder, you can also rearrange what's the order of the drop downs. So you can see I've got Desmos and Class Kick now here. It's one folder. They're right here. The last thing I want to point out, and I'm not going to be able to show you how exactly to get to it, the steps are going to be the same, but I want to point out that you should be bookmarking your email because you're going to be checking that at least twice a day, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. Because if you don't bookmark it, you're going to have to come to your Canvas account, you're going to have to click on resources every single time, and you're going to have to click on school email to get to your email. Quick reminder, and I will remind you every time this comes up, this is not your email. Not your email. That's your Canvas notification, and if you want information on how to make sure that these notifications, these messages are getting sent to your email so that you only have to check one place, there is a video for that in the support center. So if you need help, go find that video, reach out to your homeroom teacher, and they can show you how to access your email. But it's super, super important that you know this right here is your email and that this right here is not your email. If you're not emailing, or excuse me, if you don't have those notifications turned on where your inbox messages get sent to your email, then you're checking this twice a day and you're checking this once a day. I've gone off, I got on a little bit of a soapbox, but this is super, super important because this is the one of the main ways friends miss information that they need is because they're not checking the right place. So please make sure that you're going to your school email. I can't click on this because if I do, it's going to actually open up my email. It'll open it up in another tab up here, and I don't want to show you any private information from other students. But I did want to point out that this is where you would go to get it. When it opens in another tab, you just go to that tab, like I just did, like you just click off to that tab and add it to your bookmark bar, just like we did with those other ones. When you go to log in, if you click on the bookmark bar to get to your email and it asks you to log in, it's going to be the same username and password that you used to log in to Canvas. So it's the same username and password. You can still get into it, but it's one click instead of 3. So hopefully that saves you some time. If you have any questions, reach out to your homeroom teacher.